हमारे बुजुर्ग घर पर हमारे साथ रहकर यही देखभाल और सेवा का लाभ उठा सकते हैं। अब चाहे वो घर पर रहे या ऑनलॉक वाले पेस सेंटर में आए, उनको वही डेडिकेटेड एंड प्रोफेशनल केयर मिलेगी। ऑनलॉक ने बुजुर्गों की सेहत को अपना प्रायोरिटी बना लिया है। और जानने के लिए 1855-308-0195 पे कॉल करें। That's 1855-308-0195. After months of screen time and no play dates, the Children's Discovery Museum is open for Purple Play Days of Summer. It's time to rediscover the wonder. Climb on the fire engine, splash around in the waterworks, blow bubbles, and scale the tree climber in Bill's backyard. Oodles of hands-on arts and culture, STEM, health, and nature-themed exhibits await your family. The Giant Purple Museum is open every day, Wednesday through Sunday. Reservations are required at cdm.org. That's cdm.org.
Top of the morning, Bay, with Good Morning Bay.
Get to know about the traffic on your way and what's news around the world today.
Some wisdom skills along the way.
Oh, and a song to hum along with and sway.
Get your perfect entertaining start to the day.
At 9 a.m. every weekday morning with
Mahima's Good Morning Bay. Good morning, Bay. आप सभी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते,
नमस्कार,
वणकम,
नमस्कार,
खुशामदीद,
अस्सलाम वालेकुम,
सत श्री अकाल,
मीकांतरिकी वंदनम,
जय स्वामी नारायण,
जय श्री कृष्ण,
जय जिनेंद्र।
मैं इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोल दे, या अली मदद,
मोला अली मदद बोलते हुए सारे फीजी हम बंदलों को बोलेंगे नीसा बुला बलजन। हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारे। मैं से फालतू बाबा
and of course myself फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए एक और drive time that's going to make another fantastic Friday totally Friday.
What does that mean?
Meaning it's Friday.
I thought I heard fried eggs.
No, Friday.
Fried eggs. No?
Oh yeah, for fried eggs.
Oh, there's no the G silent, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Banjan, Friday! It's a weekend already, Banjan. And of course, if you're not planning for the weekend, I would say go ahead and plan right away. Well, because many people already are doing this. They actually are traveling, and yes, summertime here, schools are off right now, I suppose, most of them at least. Even the summer school part of it is down, Banjan. So there you go. Opportunity for you guys to go spend some time with the family. And right now, Banjan, let's go take a look at what's happening with the roads. Raste ka haal hum log always dete hain aap logo, Banjan. Total saste mein.
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
That's right, that's that. 408-912-2479. And that dry spell for the day. But we have sun all day. As you know, it's going to be the hottest, probably hitting on mid-80s, but in 85. Much hotter than yesterday, but right now it's not too hot. You might feel like it's not so hot right now. It is not. Slowly the temperature kind of increases, like slowly increasing the temperature, and when you're boiling water, that will boil you totally up. Just kidding. But just the lowest is going to be at 51 degrees and going to be highest on mid 80s. Tomorrow also is going to be a nice sunny day if you're planning a picnic or a beach outing tomorrow. Could be ideal scenario for you guys. There's no rain as such, but does not mean that we actually, we're totally in the in the open and everything. Just remember one thing, Manjay, we still are battling a pandemic. So what if it's called the COVID virus Delta version? It is still something which you're battling, because not only just because you have vaccine, it does not get you off the leash. It does not make you immune to it. Yes, you are kind of for certainly that's what vaccination is all about, but we got to be mindful of our brothers and sisters who actually have not gotten vaccinated for whatever beliefs they have. Respect that, and of course make sure that we all can try to give them proper advice as to why it might be beneficial for them to be getting vaccinated. Road-wise, of course, it's a Friday traffic out there, so not much of congestion on many of the freeways. Is pretty much smooth. Of course, 80, the 80 bridge always has some kind of congestion there going on, so it's pretty much natural. Even during COVID times, we saw some kind of traffic over there uptick because people were trying to go to different places in the outskirts, into the wilderness and trying to do all those hikes and everything. That's good, anyways. Speaking about warnings, high wind advisory on 580 eastbound and westbound near the Vasco Road incorporated. Of course, heat and high wind is a classic, condition for fires and everything. So watch out for that for sure. And just now coming in, a report of traffic hazard on 9 East. On eastbound 9 actually at the Redwood Gulch Road, and Who goes there? I have no idea. It's somewhere towards the, it is actually, where's this? It's actually Los Gatos side, right? It's in Saratoga, Los Gatos side, the Gulch Road. But I don't know. There's no traffic over there anyways. So you're blessing in disguise over there, so it's good, right? And apart from that, Bajan, freeways are looking smooth, as I told you. So it's going to be a nice Friday for everybody. Now, Bajan, it's time for us to go take a look at what's happening in the news. Faltoni, what do we have as the news for today?
Well, Manajan, I'm just going to start off with everybody who is looking to order Domino's Pizza for delivery. Well, you're going to be waiting a little longer.
Why?
now.
What happened?
And they say do not wait if you're hungry and order pizza at that moment, because
Add ahead of
that
time.
is your way to suffering, it seems.
Oh, really? So you should not order that moment. So
Yeah.
what is the time we got to keep in mind?
You remember you talked about how restaurants are short-staffed as they reopen and
Yeah.
consumers are embracing dining out again. Well,
Yeah.
that means longer wait times for your food when dining out. But unfortunately, you'll encounter the same issue when you're dining in or ordering pizza at home. Domino's says that its wait times have gone up in certain regions, and we have slipped a minute or two on average delivery times in some areas, said Domino's CEO Richard Allison during a Thursday analyst call discussing the company's second quarter result. There's a big area of focus for us as we look going forward. A Domino's spokesperson has declined to elaborate on the exact time period that he was referring to. Staffing issues have also meant that they haven't been able to make the service gains and improvements that they would like to see in 2021.
So in other words, it's,
Allison
you know
said.
what's being from the Bay Area, right?
Yeah.
And of course having the entrepreneurial blood going in us.
Yeah.
You know what I see? I
What?
see an opportunity.
Uh-huh.
There's an opportunity right now.
What is the
We
opportunity?
need Do Domino's.
Huh?
Do Domino's.
What is Do Domino's?
Second, part 2.
Oh,
Domino's
God.
part Do. So
Okay.
you should actually start investing in franchise, Barajan. I think, and of course, the model of Domino's is actually you can't dine in, right? You know that, right? The model of Domino's is not dine in at all. It's only takeout.
No, Domino's has.
Bro, no, Domino's model actually thrived because unlike Pizza Hut, Pizza Hut had to have a seating and everything. But Domino's, you can have one seat to sit down, but most of it was takeout.
Right. And but they're raising wages for employees right now.
That's
what
good.
they're saying. Yeah.
That's good, but why is the backlog then? That means you require more Domino's at other places.
Yeah.
Or for the fact, matter of fact that people have lost the skills of cooking. Come
Right.
on, how hard is it to cook pizza? Please, it's the most easiest dish to do.
Okay,
Take the
fine.
dough, make it flat, add cheese, marinara, and add meat on it. That's it, simple. And just put it in a toaster.
Well, for those of you watching us on the Facebook Live broadcast, Manajan, that is the voice of our Altu Baba who has focused the camera on me
Hey,
and
you know
keeps
the best part, Falguni-
digressing and taking
Wait,
the
wait.
topic away.
I don't know, Falguni, can you
And,
just- can-
focusing on everything that is very
Hey.
familiar and very dear to his
It's
heart, like food.
Friday
and
fun,
pizza.
Friday fun, Falguni.
Yeah.
Just do some lip sync, okay? I'll voice it for you. And of course, Bajan, this is me. My name is Falturani. Yes, I have a handsome voice. And yes, I agree with whatever Faltu was saying. I'm his best student and he's my guru. I love the dude. He's awesome. And trust me when I say this, and it is true, he is really awesome. Altu Baba is the end all when it comes
Not.
to... What? It was going so perfectly. People actually thought he was saying it. And see, Falturani, I've always said you're good looking, right? And I got a good looking voice.
All right, Altu Baba, let's
So
go.
like a good mixture, it was so nice. Okay, fine. My goodness, you're such a what do you call buzzkill? I tell you.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
I
Thank you
think
very
so
much.
much of fun right now. People are wondering, there's a voice, there's a face of a girl over there, but what is a handsome voice doing with a girl?
Oh, be quiet. Well, anyways, let's tell you, Banjan, water thieves are running rampant during California's drought, and sometimes
Wait, hello, backtrack. What did you say?
water thieves.
Water thieves.
Yes, there are
Well,
water thieves
you mean
in
say if-
California during
So
this
if I
drought.
leave my water bottle or water bottle,
These people are apparently tapping into fire hydrants and even water lines.
Oh
like
my
if
goodness.
watch your water bill for sure, because water thieves are actually and it's devastating in certain communities as extreme drought grips California, Manajan, making water increasingly scarce. Thieves are making off with billions of gallons of the precious resource, tapping into fire hydrants, rivers, and even small family homes and farms. State and local officials say water theft is a long-running issue, but the intensifying drought has driven the thefts to record levels as reservoirs dry up and bandits markets make off with stolen water, often to cultivate the growth of illegal marijuana crops.
That's not fair. Why do they put the illegal marijuana crops there? It could be the regular farmers also not getting water, right? Even they could
yeah,
be doing it.
exactly.
You
So
know-
it's not the regular farmers. So what's
How do
happening?
we know? Our regular farmers are having a tough time finding water. You think marijuana people are not? Why do they? Why I don't know why they want to build all these things onto marijuana people.
Well, because the head of the California Department of Fish and Wildlife Marijuana Enforcement Team,
Ah.
John Norris, is the person who has reported, who is actually speaking on this and has made a public statement.
Yeah, because
says-
he has to find fault in people who are growing illegal marijuana.
Okay, Altu Baba, but regardless, that doesn't take away from the fact that 12 billion gallons of water have been estimated to be stolen across the state since 2013, impacting legitimate farming operations, drinking water sources, Native American tribes, and small communities, Norris said.
You know, I read this article a couple of years ago about saying that the new world's gold
Huh.
is going to be water. So Faltoni, please stop wasting, water like this. See, water.
I am not wasting.
Colossal waste
Stop.
of water. Look at that thing, And she walks around with bottles of water which are like around 5 gallons.
Yeah,
Is it like 2 gallons at least?
no, it's not. Anyway, this is the
But say
bottle.
water, but then say water as much as
This
possible.
is the bottle he's talking about,
Yes,
and
but
it's not 2 gallons.
It's good. No, it's not. She always fills half a gallon of it only.
Yeah, no, I feel the whole thing. The issue has become so severe that some communities have been forced to place locks on fire hydrants and remove them altogether, they're saying.
Isn't it counterintuitive at all? You put locks on fire hydrants. It's supposed to be readily available, right?
Yeah, but what will you do if they have stolen they're breaking into the water lines? What they're doing is they're breaking into secure water stations, drilling into water lines, tapping into fire hydrants, and using violence and threats against farmers, making off with truckloads of water for their crops under the cover of darkness.
What does this world come up to? Initially, a man could not walk in the midnights with having his wallet full of cash. Now he can't even carry water bottles.
It's not water bottle. They're not going to come after you for a water bottle.
You never know. You might come up to that, right? Oh my God!
God.
What kind of world are we
Please do
living
not
in?
worry, Bajja. People are not going to come and chase after you for a water bottle. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about how water is being stolen from our farmers and the legitimate farming industry. So that's what we were talking about. It is not like if you're walking with a bottle of water, somebody's going to come and attack you and take your bottle away, like our Altu Baba is suggesting. Oh. Anyway, let's go on over Crocs. You remember the Crocs? I love those shoes actually. So Crocs is suing Walmart, Hobby Lobby, and others for allegedly copying its popular shoe. Crocs is the shoemaker filed four trademark infringement lawsuits last week in several district courts against 20 companies it alleges are violating its trademarks and other intellectual properties on the shoes. In one of the lawsuits, which was filed by U.S. District Court of Colorado against Walmart, Hobby Lobby, and shoes and handbag maker Loeffler Randall, Crocs alleges that Walmart is selling cheaper knockoffs of its $50 clogs under a variety of different names such as Time and True and George. That's true.
That's not true. You thought you bought, right?
That's true. Actually, yeah, I bought. I was like, wow, you're
The
getting
one
Crocs.
time you go buy at Walmart and
Yeah, and then
you end up buying a fake.
yeah, that is terrible.
And she loved it, Badhijat.
It's a knockoff.
You
Yeah,
know, they should actually call. They should
it's
thought of a-
beautiful, Banjan. I gotta show you those Crocs.
Yeah, they are
sometime.
beautiful, yes, but the thing is, they should thought of a creative name, right? Why all those things? They just call it as Ali.
Gator.
Uh-huh.
No. In the same suit, Crocs cited Hobby Lobby's $12 white foam clogs lady shoes as an alleged knockoff of its original clog shoe.
Ah.
The suit also called out an Ezra black rubber clog from Loeffler Randall as what it was said to be a copycat shoe of its clog. Walmart, Hobby Lobby, and Loeffler Randall have not offered any comment in response to this particular news item. Anyway, now that we're done with that, let us talk a little bit about something that's a very serious matter in the United States. Bandijan, at Mississippi, the Mississippi's Attorney General has urged the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade, the landmark decision legalizing abortion nationwide prior to viability, which can occur at around 24 weeks of pregnancy. Attorney General Lynn Fitch called the 1973 decision egregiously wrong and had asked the High Court to allow a controversial Mississippi law that bans most abortions after 15 weeks to go into effect. case reignites a debate surrounding abortion and comes as other states, emboldened by the conservative SCOTUS majority, are increasingly passing restrictive abortion-related regulations. Mississippi's Gestational Age Act was passed in 2018 but was blocked in the federal court. Now that the state has asked the Supreme Court to overturn precedent, all eyes will be on the conservative justices to see how far they're going to go. Let's talk about the coronavirus. The Biden administration officials are ramping up the urgency of their messaging on COVID-19 as the dangerous Delta variant continues to spread. The administration is also sending $100 million to rural health clinics to boost vaccine education and access. And it's using another $1.6 billion in the American Rescue Plan for testing and other resources in high-risk areas. Only 48.8% of the U.S. population is now fully vaccinated, Manajan, and the 7-day average pace of full vaccinations is around 252,000, far below the 500,000 daily average seen at the beginning of July. COVID cases are surging in Los Angeles, almost at 80% right now. The most populous state in the United States reported Thursday 2,767 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours, an alarming 80% increase over the last week amid the Delta variant surge. And of course, so that is something that we need to be watchful of. If you're traveling to Los Angeles, if you're unvaccinated, please do make sure that you sign up for a vaccination, because you are at most risk if you are unvaccinated, not only to yourself but to people who are around you as well. In news from with regard to all of this, when we are having a surge in COVID-19 across the United States with regard to this especially highly contagious Delta variant, the vaccine hesitancy has led to new mask mandates and deep confusion among some people about which guidance to follow. In Los Angeles County, leaders have reinstated an indoor mask mandate, even for the fully vaccinated folks. Officials in Houston and New Orleans also raised coronavirus alert levels this week and told people to mask up. In Florida, however, Governor Ron DeSantis said on Thursday that children will be required to wear masks in school by this fall, arguing that we need our kids to breathe. Hours later, White House Press Secretary Jan Psaki told reporters, "If I were a parent in Florida, that would be greatly concerning to me." So this is something else that has come up, and in the United States, so people are really confused as to whether to mask or not mask. What do we do? And you know what? Remember there was that black fungus issue that happened in India, Altubaba?
Yeah.
Well, U.S. health officials on Thursday reported outbreaks of something called an untreatable fungus. Candida auris in Washington, D.C. nursing home and in 2 hospitals in Dallas. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention concluded that the new cases had spread from patient to patient. What is the superbug fungus? Candida auris? Well, the fungus is a deadly form of yeast which causes severe illness in hospital and nursing home patients who have been diagnosed with severe medical problems. This yeast often does not respond to commonly used antifungal drugs, making infections difficult to treat. The CDC said it is believed to be most deadly when it enters the bloodstream and spreads throughout the body, causing serious invasive infections. So that is something that is being treated as an untreatable infection, apparently, the fungus.
Nice. But it is being treated though.
Yeah, it is. It's being treated. They're trying. I mean, you can't just say, "Oh, it's untreatable."
It has been treated like untreatable. I just want to emphasize the English language.
Okay. Well, the White House is now blaming social media, has YouTube, but not Facebook, and on its list of social media platforms, officials say are responsible for an alarming spread of misinformation about COVID vaccines and are not doing enough to stop it. Sources familiar with the administration's thinking said the criticism comes just a week after President Joe Biden called Facebook and other social media companies, quote, killers, unquote, for failing to slow the spread of misinformation about vaccines. He has since then softened his tone. A senior administration official also said one of the key problems is inconsistent enforcement. YouTube, a unit of Alphabet Inc., and Facebook get to decide what qualifies as misinformation on their platforms, but the results have left the White House very, very unhappy. QAnon shaman. You remember that whole big QAnon controversy that's been going on? That whole conspiracy theory that there is John Kennedy Jr. is still alive and all that stuff, and how they were trying to get Trump as the Messiah into the White House again. Well, the participant in the Jan 6 U.S. Capitol riots, nicknamed the QAnon shaman, is negotiating a possible plea deal with prosecutors after prison psychologists found that he suffers from a variety of mental illnesses, his attorney said. Defense lawyer Albert Watkins said that officials at the Federal Bureau of Prisons, or BOP, have diagnosed his client Jacob Chansley with transient schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, depression, and anxiety. The BOP's findings, which have not yet been made public, suggest Chansley's mental condition deteriorated due to the stress of being held in solitary confinement at a jail in Alexandria, Virginia, Watkins said. Well, let's come to local news, Pandijan. After more than a year of heavy losses at their two cafes in the San Francisco Bay Area, Amy and Chris Hilliard were relieved to get word in May that they were approved for $381,000 grant from the U.S. Small Business Administration. The money was from a fund earmarked by Congress for restaurants hurt by the economic fallout from the coronavirus pandemic, like the Hilliard, Farley's San Francisco and Farley's East operations. Equal to their losses last year, it would let the couple pay back debt, hire new employees, expand opening hours, replace a broken freezer, buy tables and chairs, and do all of this, right? Then last month, they learned that they're not going to get the money after all. After being approved for a loan of grant of $381,000, we're back in a holding pattern, and it's not a very fun place to be. Even after the roughly $800 billion in aid from the Federal Paycheck Protection Program and nearly $30 billion more earmarked for hard-hit restaurants this year, U.S. businesses are facing a very, very uncertain outlook. Many enterprises that were thriving before the pandemic are still hobbled. At the same time, a widely predicted wave of bankruptcies has not materialized, with commercial bankruptcies in 2020 at their lowest level in 5 years, and year-to-date filings lower still, according to the data provider Epic Acer. Complicating the picture are regional discrepancies. Some 35% of San Francisco Bay Area establishments, like those of the Hilliards, still report a large negative impact from the pandemic, and more than 41% think that it will take more than 6 months to return to normal. So this suggests that a national recovery may be major way off. So
no, I think it's going to take 6 months for recovery. So probably we'll have some recovery happening in 2022 and not this year. So I think setting the expectations right is important for the businesses and also for the people who are investors in businesses. That's also important, right?
correct.
Yeah, and people should know about this. Just because the economy is open, the many big companies actually they are fine. They're still asking their staff to work from home, and people are still scared to eat outside.
Right. Well, the thing is that if you have received information that you have been approved for a grant and you're going to get the money and you have not received it yet, you definitely want to get in touch with the U.S. Small Business Administration, because that's what's happening at this current moment. Early this morning, a woman was hit and killed in San Jose early Friday morning, and the driver actually fled the scene, and the police is asking for your help in identifying this particular driver. This happened at the 800 block of Tully Road, and that was actually closed in both directions during the investigation, and police advised drivers to use alternative routes. The police are still looking for the hit-and-run driver. And also, passengers, a teenager sent a photo of an airsoft gun to other passengers on a plane at San Francisco International Airport on Thursday, prompting officials to remove every passenger from the plane, rescreen them, and inspect the aircraft.
Wow.
The airport spokesman said United Airlines Flight 2167 from San Francisco to Orlando was getting ready to leave the gate when several passengers said they received the photo of an airsoft gun from another passenger via airdrop. Airport spokesman Doug Yekel said it was determined that the photo was taken at an earlier date and at a location not at an airport. the teen did not have the gun on him. What is wrong with some kids? Seriously. Why would you send
They're
some...
kids. There's nothing wrong with them. They're kids, and it's fine. It's up to us to be able to have the tolerance for all these things.
Right.
Wait a minute, right now it's time for us to go to a quick gunning. Oh, you know what we should do, Faldwani?
Huh.
Or do you want to go to the Gunning Kida anyways?
We could go to the Gani Kakira.
Yeah, we go to Gunning Kida, but then, of course, this is a Gunning Kida lined up for actually celebrating the birth anniversary of Mukesh ji, which was happened to be yesterday, actually. So, a beautiful song, Mukesh, the unmistakable voice of Raj Kapoor Saab. And from the movie called Dharam Karam Banja, this particular song called Ek Din Bik Jayega, a beautiful song, and of course adds more emotion and pathos because of the voice behind it, and which is of Mukesh Saab. Lyrics by Majhu Sultanpuri and music direction by R.D. Burman.
एक दिन बिक जाएगा माटी के मूल जग में रह जाएंगे प्यारे तेरे फूल एक दिन बिक जाएगा माटी के मूल जग में रह जाएंगे प्यारे तेरे फूल तुझे के होठों को देकर अपने गीत कोई निशानी छोड़ फिर दुनिया से दो एक दिन बिक जाएगा माटी
And what a wonderful thing, Father. You know the verse, right, of the poet? दूजों के होठों पर देकर अपने गीत, right? You know what exactly that is?
What
It's such a spiritual thing, but I'll tell you what. It actually is about KT, which we as in the IT industry calls KT, which is knowledge transfer.
Huh.
And if at all you say DNA is actually your progenesis, right? Whatever your the next generation, whatever is the DNA carrying information, right? It is nothing but information, right? So whatever you have, transfer to somebody who else who's going to do it, and then you can do whatever you want to do, right? You'll feel much better when you actually have somebody else taking on the legacy. And that's what's all about. But then sharing as also caring, Barjan.
प्यारे तेरे फूल ला 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 ला
And ये गाना और बजेगा आपके लिए Barjan, लेकिन अभी के लिए we got to go and see what's happening in the world. A quick look at that Barjan right now on our screen. You can check out Faltwani getting into this particular news desk of Media Mahima. Faltwani, what is the world news for us today?
Japanese tennis star Naomi Osaka on Friday lit the Olympic cauldron to mark the formal start of Tokyo 2020 in an opening ceremony shorn of glitz and overshadowed by a pandemic but celebrated as a moment of global hope. After 49 years, Israelis killed at 1972 Munich Games were remembered in the opening ceremony with a moment of silence, the first time in 49 years. The move was welcomed by relatives of the victims, some of whom were in the stadium, and Israel's Prime Minister Naftali Bennett. Gymnastics in Olympic gymnastics, German female gymnasts will choose whether they want to wear full body suits in Sunday's qualifications at the Tokyo Olympics after receiving accolades for donning the outfits in the past in a stand against the sexualization of their sport. The German team wore fuchsia unitards, combined leotards and leggings, extending to the ankle at their podium training in Tokyo on Thursday, and said that they could choose to wear them again when the competition begins. China is barring tutoring for profit in core school subjects to ease financial pressures on families that have contributed to low birth rates, a news that sent shockwaves through its vast private education sector and share prices plunging. The policy change, which also restricts foreign investment in a sector that had become essential to success in Chinese school exams, was contained in a government document widely circulated on Friday or verified by sources.
I have to give a one-hand clap for this.
Yes, why?
Because one, of course, the fact that education is almost considered free there. And
Yeah.
second thing, why I remove the other hand is because now opportunity for foreign companies to invest in education over there is gone.
Yes.
More
Yeah.
control on them as to what the curriculum is going to be.
Yeah, the private tutoring industry in China was $120 billion.
Huge market. We know
Yeah.
many companies over here from local Bay Area actually were invested there.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be a big hit on them. They're going to come back and transfer the losses onto people over here in America.
Yeah, and this actually triggered a heavy sell-off in shares of tutoring firms traded in Hong Kong and New York, including New Oriental Education and Technology Group and Koolearn Technology Holding Limited. That is another major big news. The United States, as we had mentioned recently, the top diplomat, Anthony Blinken, is going to be traveling to India next week, the State Department said, and he's also going to be traveling to Kuwait in the first visit to the world's largest democracy. They're trying to establish India as an important U.S. ally in Asia. In news from India, Banajan, India continues to report nearly 40,000 daily cases as states gear up to fight a possible third wave of coronavirus infections in the country. We will bring you updates right here. In Maharashtra, 80 to 85 people are reported missing after landslide in Raigad's Talai village. 33 bodies have been recovered. The Indian Meteorological Department predicted heavy to very heavy rains at a few places in Mumbai, Thane and Palghar in Friday. And in the update on the Raj Kundra pornography scandal, Banujan, Raj Kundra's police custody has been extended today, and the Mumbai Police Crime Branch has now raided his Juhu residence. According to ANI, a team from the crime branch has reached Shilpa Shetty and Raj Kundra's Juhu bungalow in a case related to the production of their pornographic films. And in the court today, Mumbai police suspected and stated that they suspect Raj Kundra of indulging in online betting and had used the money that he earned from pornography, which is why they wanted to investigate transactions between his two bank accounts. Quoting Mumbai police, ANI further reported, in the WhatsApp chats, we have found that he was talking about a deal about selling 121 videos for 1.2 million US dollars. This deal seems to be on an international level. More on all of this you will get on MediaMahima.com. He is still under custody is what they're saying. But although Raj Kundra's attorneys are arguing, saying that his arrest was illegal and then there was not a single video that could be called pornographic. So more on all of that you will find on MediaMahima.com. And Jen, that's all we have time for on this morning's Good Morning Bay. We'll be back tonight live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show. Till then, have yourselves a fantastic Friday.
एक दिन बिक जाएगा माटी के मोल जग में रह जाएंगे प्यारे तेरे गुण ला ला.
We hope you're loving the music. The best music with the best entertainment. You know where it keeps getting hotter. And that's Radio D Hotties. And haha, main aapki Faltu Rani. Sunte rahiyega, there's more lovely music that we've lined up for you. Total D Hottie picks.